Aujourd'hui, on va parler autour des animaux, comme la pieuvre et aussi le stégosaure. Bonjour, bienvenue dans un nouvel épisode française de Paul Jenkins Languages. Bonjour à toutes et à tous. Sois le bienvenu. Comme j'ai mentionné au début, on va parler aujourd'hui autour des animaux. Okay. Three lessons on animals, starting with the first today. So not only meeting the new words for animals, but hopefully doing a few extra things as well that will really kind of advance your French. Let me just read some vocab for you. Un animal, un chat, un cheval, un chien, un cochon d'Inde, un lapin, un lézard. Don't pronounce that D, lézard, just let it kind of slide off the end. Un oiseau, think of like wah, 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 wah. Un oiseau, un phasme, une tortue. Okay, révision. This is called 54321. I quite like it as an activity just to kind of go over things you've done before. So on a computer or pen and paper, whatever you have. So 5 infinitives where the verb ends in er, like jouer, danser, bavarder, etc. 4 different types of housing, places you could live. 3 different places to live, as in the mountains, à la montagne, or beside the sea, or bord de la mer. New phrase if you didn't know that already. 2 connectives like and, aussi, also. Try to think of different ones rather than just take those. And 1 verb you make negative by putting ne and pas around the verb. Particularly, this is obviously aimed at year 7, but actually I found often in year 8 sometimes negatives and making a verb negative seems to be an area of difficulty. Anyway, voici les réponses. If you're doing this live, on fait pause the video now. There are many answers to something like this. I quite like it as a starter because it's so open-ended, actually. So there are various answers. In the 2 connectives, can I draw your attention to what par contre, on the other hand, and donc, therefore, which were introduced last lesson and are really nice bits of French to use. Ok, très simple. On écoute et on relie les animaux et les images. I realise if I'm doing this live, I need to actually read it to you, don't I? So I'm just going to bring up the answers on the screen because I can't quite remember it off the top of my head. Apologies, there are many things I'm good at. Remembering combinations of animals and colours off the top of my head for a French listening exercise is just not my best subject, is it? Un moment. Maybe I need to do a little bit of French waiting and hold music. Okay, écoutez. So, match up the animals, pictures, and colours. A. Un chat orange. B. Un chien bleu. C. Un lapin jaune. D. Un cochon d'Inde rose. E. Un cheval blanc. F. Une tortue violette. J. G. In the French alphabet, the letter G is pronounced J, and the letter J is pronounced G. G. Un oiseau gris. H. Un lézard rouge. I. Un phasme noir. J. Un poisson marron. Et K. Un hamster vert. If you need to go back, really listen to that, you can. Et voici les réponses. Super, on continue. Prochaine activité. J'aime ça, car ça contient un peu de mathématiques. So I think activities like this are great for you because in learning a language, it's good to bring in other skills as well, such as reading, numbers, and statistics, and kind of be able to make analysis based on that, so that you're not just learning French, but you're learning skills like maths and statistics and stuff like that, and using French as a kind of vehicle to do that through. I know there are schools that used to do stuff like teach all of their history in French, and quite frankly, I would love to do that, but I get the feeling it didn't produce enough results quickly enough, which is a shame because the learning was really good. Ok, on va lire les informations et décider si elles sont vraies, faux ou pas mentionnées. Are the statements true, false, or not in the text? So, for example, the most popular animal in France is fish. So you have to look at the table and work out whether that is true based on those statistics. So fish, poisson, you go down to poisson, and it's 31.58 million fish. So that's the biggest number. It would be vrai, true. Quick aside here, really useful because this is something I didn't work out until late GCSE or even A-level French, is when they're doing numbers in French, we would do that number as 31.58 million using a decimal point. The French would put a comma in there. So 31,58. If you do it live, pause, and then I will put the answers up. C, I think, is the hardest one. Because you go, ooh, 2 million more horses, right, let's look. And then there's nothing about cheval. Sorry, cheval. It's a plural for horses. Chevaux, hair, cheval, horses. Pas mentionné, not mentioned, is useful doing that in a year 7 reading because in GCSE French, they like to have true, false, not mentioned. When they redid GCSEs in 2016, they brought in that third category to make true, false questions harder. Sorry, at least you're getting it now. Verb avoir means to have. Obviously, talking about any animals you have or any animals anyone else has, you will need it. Let me read that for you now. J'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, on a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont. Also for they have, elles ont. So that'd be E-L-L-E-S, ont. That would be they have if the they you're referring to are all female. Unlike the ER verbs we did last lesson, where you had that pattern of E, ES, E, and you could basically put that pattern to many different verbs. This doesn't happen with avoir, you just have to learn avoir by heart. And the challenge is there. Can I do it with it covered up? Maybe I can. Let's see. J'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, on a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont. C'est ton tour. Have a go yourself. See if you can do it. After you get stuck, you can take away a box to help you. On fait la pause. Doing a lesson now. Pause here. See if you can do it, and then les réponses. Ta-da! And finally, just a bit of practice on making these into full sentences. So I've either removed the English or the French, and you'll get your answer by looking at the other sentence. So look at number 1. Elle something, un chien something. She has a black dog. So you need the word for has, which if we go back a slide, a, and then the word for black, noir, like that. On fait la pause. Les réponses arrivent bientôt. Answers coming up. If you want to pause now, good idea. It reminds me of like on the news when I used to talk about football scores, and it's like, if you don't want to know the full-time scores, look away now. That kind of thing. Okay, voici les réponses. We will do more about colors in animals next lesson. So if you have questions about that, attendez, wait, and they will be answered pendant la classe qui suit, following lesson. Ok, je crois qu'on va s'arrêter juste là. Merci beaucoup à toutes et à tous. S'il vous plaît, n'oubliez pas de laisser un commentaire, laisser un like, et il est très important d'abonner-vous aussi. Merci beaucoup à toutes et à tous. Au revoir, à bientôt.